Good morning. This is Joyce. Welcome back to the Simply Stated channel. We are finishing up chapter 8 in John, and I'm so glad you could be here with me. Let's take a dive in and let's just read this chapter, and then we're going to unpack it. We're going to start at chapter 8 of John 48, and we're going to go all the way to the end of 59. The Jews answered him, "Aren't we right in saying you're a Samaritan and demon-possessed?" "I'm not possessed by a demon, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. I'm not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. I tell you the truth, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death." At this, the Jews explained, "Now we know you're demon-possessed. Abraham died, and so did the prophets. Yet you say that if anyone keeps your word, he will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are?" Jesus replied, "If I glorify myself, my glory means nothing. My Father, who you claim as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Though you do not know him, I know him. If I said I did not, I would be a liar like you. But I know him and keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. He saw it and was glad." "You're not yet 50 years old," the Jews said to him, "and you've seen Abraham." "I tell you the truth," Jesus answered, "before Abraham was born, I am." At this, they picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, slipping away from the temple guards. So what if you were standing in that crowd and someone in front of you claimed to exist before Abraham? 2,000 years before Abraham. Not metaphorically, not in spirit, but literally. Well, you'd probably have some questions for him, wouldn't you? You would probably think you're either delusional or dangerous. Just like the author says about Jesus. He's either a liar, a lunatic, or Lord. You see, Jesus, in his fiery exchange with the religious leaders, doesn't say, "I was," or "I will be," but he says, "I am." Before Abraham, I am. It's not with diplomacy, but it's a bombshell. There are two words that echo all the way from the burning bush at Mount Horeb. Two words that shook the ground beneath Moses' feet. And Jesus just doesn't mumble or utter these words. He proclaims these words. And those two words stopped those that were listening that day to Jesus in their tracks, just like with Moses. It wasn't just grammar, it's divinity. When Jesus says, "I am," he wasn't just making a statement. He is claiming divinity. He is claiming eternal existence, identity, and authority. The crowd knew it that day, and that's why they picked up stones. So what does that mean for us today? Let's lean into it. The crowd has just mocked Jesus and hurled slurs at him. They have said he's demon-possessed and that he's a Samaritan. You're demon-possessed and you're not even at the elevation of a dog, because that's what they thought of the Samaritans. And they've hurled these insults at Jesus, yet Jesus does not respond in kind. He answers with grace, not insult, and points the honor back to his Father. And then he does another beautiful thing. He introduces a startling promise that whoever believes in him will not see death. But the Jews, they misunderstood once again, thinking in purely physical, temporal terms. Abraham died, and so did the prophets. Just who do you think you are? Jesus shifts the conversation to identity and time. He says, your father, Abraham, rejoiced to see my day. And then he goes on to say, before Abraham, I am. And to understand this, I am, we need to go to Exodus 3. I'm just going to read through this quickly so you can see the connection here from God of eternity speaking to Moses to Jesus of eternity speaking to the crowd. Exodus 3, verse 5. Don't come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians and bring them up out of the land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, home of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivitites, and the Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now, go. I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you. And this will be the sign that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain. Moses said to God, suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you. And they ask me, what is his name? What shall I tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. That is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. The great I am, which translates Yahweh to the Israelites who are in Egypt. Oh, they would have known exactly who he was. And throughout history, the Jewish people knew who I am meant all the way down. And now we have Jesus standing before a crowd, the same type of people that God sought to deliver out of Egypt, his chosen people. And Jesus is crying out to the Jewish people, the chosen people. And he is primarily saying, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob will deliver you from your oppressors. At that time, they thought their only oppressor was Egypt, but Jesus had a deeper meaning to the oppression that they were not only under then, but continued under the oppression of sin. They were in bondage to sin, and he has told them so in the previous conversations with them in chapter 8, that they are enslaved to sin. And he proclaims, I am the great I am. I am here to deliver you from your bondage. And this is why he can be so bold. The eternal God, the one who was with God, the Creator, in the beginning, the Word. He can make the bold claim that whoever believes in me will not experience death. They have a choice. They had a choice back then. They could believe on him, the one who made the claim to deity, eternal being, the great I am, or they could stone him. And in their disbelief, they pick up stones to stone him. The matter doesn't just lie there. The matter follows us all the way up to today. Jesus is not just a prophet, a teacher, a miracle worker. He is God incarnate, God in the flesh. But what do you do when Jesus proclaims himself as God? Do you pick up a stone to stone him because you think of yourself as God? Or do you fall down and surrender to worship, to follow, and surrender in belief of him? You know, Jesus doesn't just speak the truth. He is the truth. To believe in him is to believe in his divinity, not just his morality. I am means eternal, unchanging, all-sufficient. Everything we need, he is. I am. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this has helped you understand Jesus. I hope this has helped you deepen your relationship and understanding. Jesus is all-sufficient. He is the great I am. If you like this, please hit the like button and subscribe because this gets the word out to so many who desperately need to hear it. I do appreciate your time, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.